Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me. You can probably hear my graph tech machine in the background cutting stickers, so I apologize for that. But I wanted to film this little intro for this video. I am showing you what's in my makeup bag. I posted a picture of my makeup bag on Instagram and asked if you guys were interested in seeing like what I keep in there and like what I'm playing with right now and stuff and what I like. And you guys said yes, so I thought I would film this video. So stay tuned for everything I have in my makeup bag. This isn't everything I use every day. I just am kind of like playing with different combos and different products. So I'll kind of let you know what that's about and my favorites and like mini reviews of them. So let's get into the video. Okay, I've separated things out into areas. So let's just start with like brushes. I guess we'll start with brushes and like face stuff. So I have a few different brushes in here I've kind of collected. This is just like a Milani sponge. I love like the beauty blenders, and also the Real Technique sponges are really good. So I have that. I really like it for under eye concealer and blending out like contour and stuff. This is a more recent purchase from Amazon. It's a little powder puff, and I love pressing specifically this Makeup Forever powder, which I'll show you in a little bit, in my T-zone areas where I have pores. The pores literally just disappear, and it is incredible. So I'm a big fan of these. They're just like the little powder puffs from Amazon. This is just an e.l.f. like kabuki brush. I've been using this lately for bronzer and stuff, just like to warm it up a little bit, but really diffuse because it's really soft. My go-to powder brush is the Real Techniques powder brush. I've been loving this Sonia Kashuk flat top foundation brush. I got it at Target. I've been loving this for blending out blush and contour, and also one of my other foundations I'm gonna show you, and I've been loving it. And because it's so dense, it really doesn't like pick up much product. It just really blends things out seamlessly, and it looks so flawless and like smooth and just like airbrushed. I love that. And then a blush brush from Real Techniques, classic, use this forever, love it. This is a Morphe M3536 brush. I honestly don't even know why I have this in here because I don't use it. Sometimes I'll maybe use it for like a little bit of, I think I've been using it for trying it out with this, say, bronzer, for like contouring a little bit. And just, I don't know. I don't really care either way with this brush. I have a couple random little brushes. This is another Morphe. Oh, it was a Morphe Jaclyn Hill one. I must have bought this a long time ago from like Ulta. I never really use this. I don't know. I just kind of grab whatever fluffy eye brush. I really like the Real Techniques ones. I don't know why that's not in here because that's usually what I use. I love a just fluffy blending brush just to add some color into my crease. This is a random Forever 21 brush I got forever ago. I use it for my eyeliner. I've kind of not really used it lately. I use it to like smudge out my eyeliner, but I haven't really used it in a while either. So maybe this is a good time to clear some things out because I don't really use these much. And then we'll move on to concealer because I only have one of them in here right now. This is the Ilia True Skin Serum Concealer in the shade Arrowroot. It's like 0.5. I use this under my eyes and I like it. It's pretty good. It's not my favorite concealer under my eyes. It gets a little creasy. Like I start to crease in my eyes pretty quickly if I don't set it because it's quite like emollient, but I also don't like dry concealers under my eyes. My favorite, I think, is my NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer. I think it's my favorite. I've had that for years, and then I ran out and I tried this. I want to use this up first, but then I might buy that one again, I think, because I really like that one. This one's all right though, but it does crease. Is not full coverage, so it's not good for like blemishes in my opinion, and it is very like emollient, like I said, so it doesn't really set down on its own. Moving into sunscreens, I have two sunscreens here. This is the Supergoop Mineral Matte Screen. This one's newer to me. I got the little trial size and I like it, but it's very silicone based. Like it feels like the Smashbox primers, if you remember those. I used to use those back like in college, and they're like really like slippery feeling, really slippery silicone-y feeling, which sometimes doesn't always jive well with a lot of foundations, but it does kind of blur your pores, and it's slightly tinted, which is nice because a lot of times the mineral sunscreens can leave like a white cast, which isn't a big issue for me because I am quite fair. Oh, there you can see it. It's just like slightly tinted, but it doesn't really show up tinted, to be honest. But it's super smooth feeling, and it kind of has like a blurring effect a little bit, but it's got that really slippery silicone feeling that, I don't know, I don't love, and I think is not super popular. But That's why I got a small one. So I'm okay with it. I have like mixed feelings on it, to be honest. And then this one I used forever. It's the May Love Sun Protector. It's mineral sunscreen, SPF 30. It does leave a white cast because it is a mineral sunscreen. It's not tinted, but I really like this one. It's 18.6% in zinc, which is really good. And it's not too greasy. It doesn't really smell like sunscreen. I'm sure there's better options out there, but I just used this one for a long time and it didn't irritate my skin or break me out, which I loved. So that's that. And I also would like mix sometimes my Kosas tinted face oil with this on days where I'm not really going to be in the sun, so it didn't really matter to like, you know, sheer it out a little bit. But I really like this combo a lot. That being said, we're going to move into some of the face foundation serums I've been using lately, and I've been loving. My favorite, I think, is the Summer Fridays one. This is so dirty, and just ignore that, please, because it just gets so dirty for some reason, this packaging. So this is the Summer Fridays Sheer Skin Tint. This is in the shade 1. I'd probably go up a shade now, maybe. It's a little bit light for me, but this is so pretty. It's super liquidy, and I don't know, it was like hit or miss on the review, so it kind of seems like some people love it, some people hate it, but it's quite sheer. I will say it's quite sheer. Here's shade 1. And I don't know, something about it just looks so natural and beautiful, and it kind of smells like banana sunscreen, which is kind of weird. Like, yeah, it smells like what is it, Beach Bum, I think that's called, Beach Bum, like the monkey on it, that sunscreen that smells like bananas. It smells like that. There's no sunscreen in this, which is a bit of a bummer. Like, I think I'd really like if that sunscreen. It's a very sheer coverage, but I just feel like it evens out my skin in the best way and adds like a nice glow. It looks so natural, and it just looks prettier than my skin before. I don't know. It's just like I said, you can still see my veins, even like it doesn't even like cover up entirely, but I do have very fair skin. But it's just really pretty. Like, it just, I don't know what it is. It just makes my skin like look like my skin, but better, you know? And it looks like I'm not wearing makeup when I have this on, which I like. And then this is my OG Holy Grail favorite, which is so funny because some people absolutely hate this one. It's the Kosas Tinted Face Oil. I have it in the shade 3.5. I mix it with a mineral sunscreen, like I said, so that kind of like makes it a little bit lighter. I'm kind of in between shades, honestly. 3.5 works, but 2 was too light and 3 was too pink. So I like this one as well. It's very liquidy. You can hear it. It's like a dry oil, I would say. So I think that's why some people don't like it. I have like oily my T-zone, and I get a little bit dry in the rest of my skin, and it's very watery. So that's just something to keep in mind. It literally is so liquidy, and it feels like a dry oil. So if you've ever used an oil that doesn't feel oily, but it just feels dry, I don't know. I'm trying to think of which oils are like that. But I personally like it. I do think you have to use it over really well moisturized skin. I think that it needs to be, yeah, properly moisturized underneath. That's why I really like the sunscreen with it, because it's a moisturizing sunscreen. I really also love this mixed with moisturizer as well, if like your morning moisturizer, just for like a tinted moisturizer. It just works really well like that as a mix-in. I've also used it just plain on its own over sunscreen, but hydrated skin for me is what really makes this work, and it don't get super greasy with it. It just looks really pretty natural. I think this might be my favorite just because this was my like intro product into tinted face oil sunscreens, and so that's why I really like it. It also has a good amount of coverage, and you can layer it. So it's a good, like, for me, it was a good intro into face tints and face oils, because a lot of these other ones are a lot lighter in coverage, and this one I feel like had more of like a light to medium coverage, and it can be built up to like a medium, whereas a lot of these are more like sheer to light. I would say this one for me is like right on the edge of light coverage, where it's not quite sheer. Like, you definitely get coverage. I'd say it's more of like a light coverage, but this can be almost like a medium in comparison. And then another one I've been trying out lately, and I hated it when I first used it, but like this week I've been loving it, is the Tower 28 Sunny Days Broad Spectrum SPF 30. I have the shade Largemont 10, which I think is also a little too light. Maybe it's just because I've been in the sun more lately. This one is heavier, thicker, like it feels more like sunscreen. So this one obviously has sunscreen in it, whereas the other ones don't, so that would make sense. But it's definitely a lot thicker, and it feels like sunscreen a lot more than the others. And it's a lot shinier, like dewier, you can see here. It definitely is more like hydrating. I think it has to be applied in quite a thin layer for it to look natural, because I over applied it. I think before it looked really pretty blended to just my fingers, but I had to only apply a little bit. So this is definitely reserved for like good skin days because it is quite sheer. It definitely adds like a bit of color to where it evens out redness for me on my face, but it's not enough coverage if I'm having like a irritated skin day. It really only works for like if I'm having a good skin day. I just need a bit of evening out for my redness. So yeah, I really have been liking this one lately, but again, light coverage. And then this product has been such an interesting try. It's very expensive for what it is and for how much you get. It's the Rose Inc Skin Enhanced Luminous Tinted Serum. And I have the shade 40, which as we've been aware, like I'm like usually at shade 10, 1, like I'm usually on the lower end of shades. This is shade 40 and it's still a little too light for me. I probably need to go to like shade 50 or 60. So just keep that in mind if you're looking at picking this up. I recommend going on their website and actually doing this shade match on there, because Sephora's was a little off and their website said 40. And I was like, okay, and it was actually very close. So I'm starting to get a little bit tanner, so it's a little light now, but overall, it's a good shade for me because it is very sheer. This is quite a sheer product, but there's something about it that like, I don't know, I cannot get past. Like, it's very hydrating. It is a serum, tinted serum. So I don't use moisturizer before this at all, just to help it last longer on me, because like I said, I get shiny in my like T-zone. And something about this, it just looks so beautiful on. I don't know what it is. Like, it just, at first I hated it because it settled into my pores and everything. And then I've been using the matte screen underneath it, and it kind of like smooths, creates like a smooth layer over the top because it like showed off a lot of my texture and everything. This helped kind of smooth out, and for some reason it actually worked. I was really worried. I was like, silicone in this does not seem like it'd work, but for some reason it did not pill on me. It has not pilled on me so far, but it is little micro beads of pigment inside a serum. So when you pump it out, there is like, I don't want to like waste a ton because it's so expensive. There's like micro beads. I want to see if you can see it. There's little like micro beads in the pigment, like in the serum, I mean. So that's when I use this like flat top kabuki brush, and I use this to really blend it out really quickly, like roughly, and it breaks all of those little pigment spears, and you can like brush it out. I don't even know if you can see it on top of it. I have on top of the other foundation, on foundation, on foundation. So for some reason, it just feels really refreshing. Like it feels very, I don't know, like watery and refreshing. Like it feels nice and cooling. And I don't know about it. I'm just so, and the reviews are so mixed on it. Some people absolutely hate it. Some people love it. I don't know if it's for dry skin people or oily. I'm not really sure, because I've heard dry skin, it clings to dry patches, which I could totally see. But with oily, it doesn't last very long. So it's kind of a finicky foundation and, well, serum, I guess. It seems very fussy for something that should kind of feel very low maintenance based on the sheer coverage you get from this. I would say it's sheer to light. I'd say sheer to light. You have to use quite a bit for it to be light, and you can't build it, in my opinion. When I tried doing a second layer, it does not look good. But there's something about it that makes my skin just glow when I'm wearing it. Like, I feel like I didn't know my skin could look so pretty, but then it also doesn't last long on me. Like, even I can't do a lot of heavy powder because it clings to it and it gets like dry patches and cakey, but like something about it when I put it on, it looks so good. And so I'm like determined to make it work. So I do love this on days, especially if I have a little bit drier of skin that day, but no dry patches, then it works. And again, like I said, I like to use this like flat top, really dense brush because it helps really break up those spheres really easily and just kind of doesn't absorb a lot of the product. So it affords a little bit more coverage. So I don't know. This one I'm like so torn on. Will I repurchase? Probably not, because it's very expensive and it is quite fussy and I can't wear it. It's not like a long wear thing for me. So it does not look good on me all day. Like I definitely get really shiny probably within like a couple hours of using it, to be honest. I used it today and it's been like a couple hours since I put it on and I've already powdered because it just, if you like really glowy stuff, you might like that. But anyway, so those are the foundations I'm kind of switching between. We'll pop into like, let's do bronzers because usually that's what I do next. So I have quite a few different bronzers here. I feel like I need to move some things out of the way here. We got quite a lot of stuff. So I have quite a lot of bronzers, and 2 of them are contours. So we have the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand in light medium and the Westman Atelier in, it's the Face Trace Contour Stick in Biscuit. This is the mini one. They sell like a travel mini size version, which is why I got this, because the price is a lot better. And I don't go through a lot of contour, to be honest, but my thoughts on these are, this one I love. This is my second one of this. It has more of a red toned like undertone, I think, in my opinion. It's a little bit more red toned of a contour, but it just blends so easily and beautifully. You really can't even see it, probably because I have like 1,000 layers of foundation. But anyways, so it just is really beautiful. It has like a slight shimmer to it, just ever so slightly, not a ton. And like I said, I use the Sonia Kashuk and just kind of like dabble it out. It just blends really easily. It's very thin, which is nice. It's not super thick, which I like that kind of formula. This one is a stick one, so it's a bit thinner or thicker of a cream kind of consistency, which is kind of easier to draw. But it's more of like a cooler brown, I would say, than the Charlotte Tilbury one. It's not as warm and it's a lot thicker, like I said. But it is also really beautiful. It's a beautiful product. It blends out nicely, but it definitely is not as warm. So if you're someone that kind of like wants a little bit less warm, I don't know if you can see it down here, it's a little bit less warm. The Charlotte Tilbury one up top is a little bit warmer. Both are really nice. This one I think is easier to blend because it is such a thin consistency. This one is pretty, it's just easy to draw it on quickly, but it's thicker, it's a cream, so it does not blend as easily. This I think blends more seamlessly into like liquid foundations, and I've been using, like I said, the tinted serums. It just all blends really well together, and it's just really smooth and easy. So this one's still, I think, my favorite, but I have been loving playing with this on some days. And then this is a product I've been wanting to like because I bought it and it's expensive and I want to make it work, and it's the Say Sun Melt. I got it in medium bronze because the light one looked really orangey, I don't know, for some reason to me. And I just cannot, I don't know, I don't like these type of like pot bronzers. Also, I feel like it just like gets gross looking. I don't know why. It's just, I don't know, I just, something about it I just never really use. I feel like it's quite tacky, like to the touch, and doesn't really, I don't know, dry down a lot, but it's just, I don't know, it's a little, this one's a little bit orangey, but like, I don't know, I just never, I don't really reach for it. This is also a bronzer, not a contour. So maybe I would like the lighter shade. I don't know. I just don't really feel like I know how to apply it very well. And it's just difficult for me to work with. I don't like how thick it is because I feel like it's difficult to like put on your face without like the other foundation layers kind of just getting smudged around. And it's just, I don't know. I like to use brushes to blend all this in. It just, I don't know. I just haven't really vibed with it much, but I want to keep playing with it because I have it. So I want to use it. So that's something I'm playing with. The Fenty Beauty Sunstalker in Inda Sun. This is an instant warmth bronzer. I like this. It's okay. It's not my favorite because for bronzers, I don't love matte, and this is obviously very matte. It is beautiful. It's very lightweight and easy to apply. It's not super pigmented, in my opinion. I don't know if it's because it's the shade, but it's just not really super pigmented. So it's easy to apply it and not go overboard, but it's just all right. Then I've been using more of this. It's the Kosas Soft Bronze and Light. And I've been using this a little bit more because it has a slight shimmer to it. When I'm doing bronzer, I really like having a light shimmer because I just feel like it makes my face look glowy, which is what I want from a bronzer, to warm it up and look a little glowy. So I've been really liking this one, and I've been using a little e.l.f. kabuki brush, just kind of like lightly dust this around the edges of my face and like the high points where the sun would hit. And I just love it. So I'm really enjoying playing with those guys. And then my absolute favorite category is blushes. Oh my gosh, I have a bunch of other liquid blushes and cream blushes, but these are some of my favorites. Well, this one's a powder, but these are some of my favorite. This one actually is not my favorite, I will say. So why don't we just start there? So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand High Blush in Pinkgasm. I don't love this because of how shimmery it is. It's very glittery, and I have quite a bit of texture on my cheeks from like past like acne that I've had. And this just highlights texture because it is so shimmery. It just highlights the texture. And if you don't have texture on your skin, you may love it because it is really shimmery and pretty. But if you have texture, it just does not look as cute. It is high blush, so you're supposed to use on the top of your cheekbones, I think. But then the rest of my cheekbones just look bare. Even though I'm supposed to use like bronzer there, I don't know. So I'm not really sure about it. I still play with it sometimes just to see if I like it, but so far, not so much. And then this is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush Wand. There's so many words. In Pillow Talk Pink Pop. So this is one of the newer ones, the matte, and I scooped this up as soon as I saw it on the Sephora's website because I love these formulas because they are so thin. Like they're such thin formulas which are so easy to blend, and they're very, I think they're pigmented but not too pigmented to work with. They're very easy to work with in my opinion. Again, I use like this Sonia Kashuk brush and I'll just kind of like dab it out, and I like this one. I don't know if I like matte blush entirely, but I don't want like shimmer either. I want like a soft in between, like a natural look. So this is really pretty. It blends out super easy. I literally dabbed it like a couple times and it just like looks really pretty. But again, like it is matte. So if you like matte blushes, these are definitely really nice. I love the thin consistency. Like I said, I just can't get over it. I love it. It's so easy to blend. It's easy to build up as well. So you can build up a little bit more if you want. One of my all-time favorite liquid cream blushes is the what are these called? Dewy Blush. This one's in Rosy and it's so pretty. I also have it in Chili, which is nice. It's just a little dark for me because it's like a dark berry. I just want to give it a try. But this is so beautiful. I love these. I don't know. They're extremely pigmented. So this is like literally will last me forever. And they blend out beautifully and they look super natural. So this one has a doe foot applicator, which is quite interesting. It looks really dirty, but and you really only need a little bit and it's so pigmented. I just love it. And it blends out so beautifully. It looks so natural. Let me get you in the frame. I think it looks so natural and it just lasts. It lasts all day. So I don't know, maybe I didn't put it up. You can see right there a little bit. It's like a little bit of a peachy type pink. And it's just so pretty. It just, I don't know, it just looks really natural on your skin. It just has a really natural like skin finish, which I love. And like I said, it's super pigmented, lasts all day, no problem. The first time I used these, I was shocked. I was like, oh my God. Like the end of the day, my blush was just as bright as when I first applied it. And I was like, I've never had that happen before. Like that's incredible. That actually happens with this one too as well. This one does last a really long time. But like I said, it's very matte. So sometimes if I'm wearing a lot of like the glowy like skin tints and stuff, it can kind of look a little bit shocking almost. It's kind of weird because it's like matte on my cheek and then the rest is like glowy. So I don't know. This is a good in between. It's not shimmery. It's not matte, but it's like a nice soft natural skin texture, color, finish. So this one is Tower 28's Cream Blush, Beach Please, is that their blush names? And Magic Hour. This one is interesting. It's very beautiful actually over the Tower 28 Sunny Days tinted sunscreen. It's really beautiful over that, but it's very thick. So it's very thick. It's a very thick cream texture consistency. The color is beautiful. This packaging I think is really cool. So I like that. I think it looks really neat. This one though, the color is beautiful. Blends beautifully. It's very emollient. My only issue with it is that it's very like, not greasy, but kind of greasy, very emollient. So it gets really shiny. It stays quite tacky all day. So this is a great like dewier type of blush. Maybe if you have drier skin, I don't know. My cheeks are not really dry, so that's not my issue. Buildable luminous color for cheeks and lips. Tap, tap, and blend. It does blend really easily, really beautifully. It looks beautiful, but it stays slightly tacky in my opinion. And it is a very thick, heavy feeling in my opinion blush because it is so like emollient. It's like such like a, I don't know what the word would be, like cream, a heavy cream. But it is absolutely beautiful. And if you have a little bit drier skin, you might really like having that on there. But for me, it's just a little bit too much, but it is beautiful. It's like stunning. So it's definitely, I don't know. Some people really love these, I think, but I think they're just a little too heavy for me. I love the thinner consistency of these because I don't want to feel like I'm wearing a lot of makeup. I want to feel like everything's really light and like I'm not wearing much. And this feels a little bit heavy on me. This was a TikTok purchase. This is the Dior Backstage Rosy Glow in 001 Pink. It is a powder and it is a very cool pink. This was like all over TikTok, and I don't know, like a lot of TikTok influencers and stuff were wearing it, so it sucked me up. I love a cool pink. I used to have a cool pink blush by Urban Decay and I loved it. And this is very pigmented. You do not need a lot. And let's see if I can, well, we'll see if it shows up. I just use this blush brush. And sometimes after I powder everything, I'll put a little bit of this on my cheeks just to make a little pop. You can see it there, I think. It just is like a nice like pop of a cool pink. And sometimes I'll put a little on my nose, and it's just, it is really pretty. It's lasted me a long time. Like I'm barely losing like the Dior logos there. It's just a very cool toned pink. So it is really pretty for like a little pop. And then layering a little bit of powder blush over your cream blushes make them last really long as well. Honestly, these last, like this one lasts regardless, but this really makes it last, I guess. It just has like a cool pop to it. Next, we're moving on to highlighters. Some of these, okay, so we'll just go through them. So this one I don't love. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Beauty Light Wand in Pillow Talk. For me, this is just too dark. It's like a really pretty color. Like it's a really pretty, like rosy gold, but it's just too dark for me to be a highlighter because my skin tone is quite fair. It just is a little dark for having at the very top of my cheekbones. I just, where I want to pop, it just doesn't really pop. It just makes it a little bit darker. But this one is my absolute favorite, and I want to purchase the full size. I got the tiny set of these from Sephora. It was these two together, the blush and the highlighter. It's the Beauty Light Wand Easy Highlighter in Spotlight. And this one I love. It's like a really pretty, like light champagne gold. You can kind of see it there. It's like a light champagne. Comparatively, like you can see the difference, like how much darker this one is. This is like a nice highlighter shade for me. So I love this one. I popped it on my cheekbones and the inner corners of my eyes, a little on my nose, my Cupid's bow. I just love it. My brow bone, it just looks so pretty. It's my favorite highlighter. I use this one like most of the days, almost every day. This one I had tried out. It was the Merit, well, it is the Merit Highlighting Balm in Cava. Not a huge fan of this because it just felt like it's a bit heavy for me. I don't know. Like I said, I like these really thin consistency like type of products. I felt like I layered on quite a bit, and you can definitely see it there, but I just feel like it disrupts like the makeup underneath for some reason. Maybe it's because I'm like dragging it versus just like dotting it. And I don't feel like it does much when I blend it in. Like I'm barely blended it, and I feel like if I fully blended it in, you really don't see it anymore. You know what I mean? Like it's a slight sheen, but that's about it. It kind of just makes your skin look a little bit like wet, which is kind of what I was like looking for, but then I just realized it just never really showed up. So it's very, very subtle. So if you do like very subtle, no makeup, that might be a good option. But I like a little bit of like shimmer glow. Like it doesn't really look super shimmery with like my makeup. I don't know. It is really beautiful. So maybe I will get you into using it again, which is why I have it in here so I can kind of play with it some more, but it just never really shows up enough for me, and it just stays kind of tacky. And so yeah, so it's not my absolute favorite. Okay, moving into powders, and then we just have eyes and we're done. I feel like I've been talking for ages, but so these are my current favorite powders. This is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Setting Powder in Vanilla. I got this as a sample from Sephora when I ordered online. And these two together, oh my gosh, my pores disappear. And I have quite large pores, just genetically. That's just what they are. And I take a little bit of this, put it into the lid, tap this in, and then just pat it into the areas of my pores, like my forehead, alongside my nose, like my inner cheek area. And they disappear, and it's very mattifying. I will say it's quite drying, so if you're someone that is more dry skinned, you're probably not gonna like this, but it's great for us oily skin gals, like oily in the T-zone gals. So I don't put this all over my face because I do think it'd be quite drying, and I like to have a little bit of a glow, but in my T-zone, this is amazing. And then I've been also playing with the Charlotte Tilbury. This is like the small version of it. It's her like flawless powder. I don't think it says on here, but this is in the shade 1 Fair Pale. And it's also really nice. It does offer really beautiful airbrush like glow, like an airbrushed looking finish. It's super, super pretty. Again, this is not great for like super oily in my opinion. If you want like more of like a mattifying thing, this isn't it, but it is really, really pretty for like an airbrushed glow. So I put this on like the rest of my face, like over my cheeks and stuff where I have texture, and that really helps kind of smooth everything out. This is my OG powder I've used for years. This is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores. This is in translucent. It's not translucent, just to be completely honest. I have really fair skin, so I never noticed that it's not translucent, but I had my mom try it, and she has a lot more tan skin than I do, and she's like, I can't use this. Like, my whole face is like a white cast on it, and I was like, oh my god, I had no idea. So if you have fair skin, you could use this one, but I think they have different shades now as well, finally, so I don't know, but I really like this because it really kind of like mattifies everything without looking powdery, and it just kind of like blurs everything. So it really helps blur my texture. It mattifies. It's a little bit more on the matte side, so my natural oils will take a little bit longer at least to break that up and like to make it look a little bit glowier and dewier. But I don't know, I just love this one because it just looks nice and mattifying and just makes everything look smooth and glowy. Like, not glowy, but smooth and like airbrushed kind of. It's like a little filter almost. But I'm sure there's better products out there. This is just the one that I always come back to because it kind of helps keep my oil at bay. So those are the powders. Now we're moving into eyes. So my eyes are red in the morning. Sometimes I just get red eyes. I use eye drops, like regular, like dry eye drops in the morning, but I've been using it sometimes the Lumify eye drops as well, and they really help kind of brighten the white part of your eyes if you have like red eyes. So I have that in here. And then my Charlotte Tilbury Luxury Palette Pillow Talk. It's in the shade, like color palette Pillow Talk. This is very expensive. I want to try it. There we go. I want to try it. I want to treat myself, and I do love it. It's beautiful. The shades are very, like the eyeshadow is super soft, and it's not like crazy like pigmented, but it's just like very, very natural. It's very wearable, very natural, just really, really pretty. So the colors are just really, really pretty. And then it has like a little pop. It's just for like an eyeshadow look essentially. So, which I like. It has, there's the shimmer right there. So I put this all over my eyes. I think they have it listed on the back. It's like prime, enhance, smoke, and pop. So you have like your prime, enhance, smoke, and pop, and then it's just like an eyeshadow look. It's really pretty. I don't know. Is it worth the cost? No, because you can get such great eyeshadows like for a lot cheaper, I think. But it is really beautiful. I'm going to continue to use it every day. But will I repurchase? No, I won't, because it's just very expensive. But the colors are very beautiful, and the eyeshadow is very soft. It's very easy to blend. It's very natural, and it is just a beautiful palette. So if that is in your budget and you're looking for something like that, go for it. But if you don't want to spend like $50+ on a little tiny eyeshadow palette, I think it was like 50, was it? Or is it 30? I don't know. Hopefully not 50. I don't remember how much it was, but I wouldn't purchase again personally because I think there's a lot of really beautiful palettes out there, but it is gorgeous, and the shadows are like so buttery and soft. They're just really nice. Then we have a whole variety of things here. So we're gonna start with, I don't know, I've been using this e.l.f. primer I got from Target. Not a huge fan. I don't really think it works super well personally, so we're gonna set that to the side. We got some eyeliners here. I got these two for my sister for Christmas, which was so nice of her. I use this one regularly. It's the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in Demolition. It's a brown. I only use brown eyeliners. I think they're just like are less harsh on me. And then this one is really pretty too. This color, it's like super shimmery and gorgeous. She got me, and it's called Wild Side. So those are some of my favorites. I also really love this Sephora, it's all worn off now, it's like a kohl pencil from them, in brown, deep brown. I love this one as well. It just blends really beautifully, and it's just like a really like nice brown liner to like smoke it out along your eyeshadow line. These are really soft. These Urban Decay ones are just super soft, and you can see that one's a lot darker, a little bit less. It's like definitely darker brown. So I just like to trade off between them all and use them. And then I also like this one. It's the Clinique, it's completely rubbed off, the Clinique Easy Liner Pen or Easy Pen liquid liner in brown. And I really like this as well to kind of just draw along the lash line. I don't really do liquid liner often, but I usually will put one of these down and then layer a little bit of this just right at the base of my lashes so you don't see it. I just feel like it's too harsh for my eyes. So I really like using a regular like pencil first, like a soft pencil. And then I have these two from my waterline. I've been trying out the Sephora 24-Hour Colorful in Coconut, which this one's more of a skin tone. And this one's the Maybelline Tattoo Studio Gel Pencil Liner in white. I don't like this formula for my waterline. It really dries out my eyes really badly, but this one seems to be fine. So I think I'm gonna look for a white one in this because I do like the look of like the white eyeliner sometimes on my waterline. It just like really pops, and I don't know, makes you look like a fairy for some reason. I feel like it like is like makes the eyes like look really wide awake and open and like fluttery. I don't know. So I want to get it in white, I think, for this pencil because I do like this one a lot. This one's just more like a nude color. But I like the formula of the Sephora one better. So I would not necessarily recommend the Maybelline one. It does last a long time though, but it just really dries my eyes out. So, and then brow stuff. I've been using this recently. It's the ColourPop Brow Pencil in Taupe. This one isn't new to me. It's all right. It's fine. It's a good, solid eyebrow pencil. I just wanted to get something that's a little lighter when I dyed my hair lighter. My all-time favorite, though, is the Kosas Brow Pomade. Kosas Air Brow. This is in soft brown, and it's just like a little too dark, which is why I got this after I dyed my hair or bleached my hair lighter. But I love these. I've gone through so many. I used the Auburn one when I had red hair. I'm using the soft brown now. I might get the taupe one maybe, which is I think what I'm like needing. They were just out of stock when I went to go look to Sephora. So I love this. I think it's helped my brows grow, to be honest, which they do say that it is like brow nourishing things to help with growth. And I think it works because my brows have gotten thicker since I started using this, and it looks so natural. It holds them in place. It's tinted, obviously. It has a little spoolie at the end, and it really is just easy to brush through my brows and I'm good to go. So it's really like no fuss, which I like. And then the two mascaras I've been using lately is the Maybelline Lash Sensational and the Benefit Roller Lash combo together, really nice. I really do like the Benefit Roller Lash. I do have issues with it kind of getting on my eyelids, like my brow bones for my lashes after a long day, or going a little bit underneath my eyes. Like it doesn't have a lot of like stick to it, I guess. Like it doesn't dry down. I don't know, but it makes my lashes look so fluttery and beautiful. It grabs like every lash and like lifts them up and it like holds them, and they just look really, really pretty with this. And this one I bought as like a dupe for my favorite mascara ever, which is the Lancome Lash Idol mascara. I ran out of it and it's very expensive. And so I had read online that they said that the Lash Sensational by Maybelline is a dupe. And I'd say it's actually very close, but it doesn't have the exact same amount of lift as the other one did. The Lash Idol from Lancome really lifts the lashes up and like holds them up a lot higher than this. And also this feels a lot heavier on my lashes. The Lash Idol one feels a lot lighter for the same look, or for a better look even, than this. This feels really heavy for me. But this I love. And I love this combo together because I feel like I put this down first. This helps kind of brush all of the extra product out, because I feel like this adds a lot of extra product that you just don't need. And this like comb type of like brush really brushes that out and then also lifts them more, because this one doesn't lift as much as the Lancome one. So when I run out of these, I will maybe repurchase this one. And because I do like it a lot, like at some point I'm going to repurchase this one and then probably purchase the Lancome one that I like instead of this, because this is great though. It's very similar, but just not quite there. So I believe that is it. We are done. That is everything in my makeup bag, which is like a ton of stuff. Like I said, I definitely don't use all these all the time. I just like to swap things out and try different combinations and play with them and be like, what do I feel like today? What kind of look do I want today? So this is everything that I'm really using in rotation right now, really. I have some other things kind of stored away in my makeup container, but I don't really use that stuff at all. So this is like my main jam that I'll cycle through over the course of weeks. I hope you liked this video, and let me know if you tried any of these products, if some of them are your favorites. And because I'm very curious to know if you guys like any of these, or let me know some of your favorites that you like can't live without, and I want to check them out because I love adding new things and playing with new stuff. It's just so much fun. Also, my hand is just like, I gotta go wash my hands. This is crazy. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.